Thank you. We'll call the December 18, 2023 meeting of Greenwood Board of Public Works and Safety to order at 5:30 p.m. Roll call, please, Sonny.
Mr. Colvin.
Here.
Mr. Hoover.
Here.
Mr. Rutherford.
Here.
Thank you. The minutes of our last meeting of December 4th have been distributed to members of the board. Any corrections or additions or deletions from staff? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval as presented?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. First on our agenda tonight is Mr. Napier.
Yep.
Good evening, Jack.
Jack Napier, Assistant Superintendent, Greenwood Street Department, comes forward. Works at safety to get a tire supplier from the street department and the waste management department. I need to be able to get quotes from companies. I also have a service truck to do repairs in the field. Permission to use pumps, tire service, best one of any, and white one tire. They always get the government GPA pricing when it is available.
You want to get approval for both of those providers, Jack?
All three.
All three.
Pumps, best one of any, and white one tire.
Question for Mr. Napier?
Same group we get it from now, right?
Yeah.
I'll move for approval. I'll second.
Further discussion? So now all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And you got some for sign companies.
Yeah, sign supplier for the 2024 season. Would like to get permission to get prices from Stello Products, Osborne Associates, NGI, Old Signs, Enos Flint, and Unistrut.
Move for approval. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Jack. Chief, you're up next.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
Jimmy Washell, Fire Chief. Question approval for contract with Memphis Cabinet Sales Incorporated for cabinet installation for Station 91. My understanding is the cabinets, their Station 91 has been there since the inception of that station. I believe it's time for an upgrade.
Price on that is 17,000 some change, is that correct?
That's correct with installation. We did quote out the services. It's back as the lowest quote.
Any questions for Chief?
I'll move for approval. I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Second order of business, I have contract with Lexipol for phase 1 policy implementation manual. This service, my understanding is we haven't had it up for a revision for standard operating guidelines, policies, procedures in over 10 years. I'd like to request approval for that. The company that we're looking at is Lexipol, that will standardize the policies, procedures for the fire department for national standards across the fire service.
Other questions for the Chief?
Have you worked with them before?
This will be my first time working with them. I am familiar with the group, a software platform. It'll take about 9 months for implementation. Currently, the Greenwood Police Department is also using Lexipol.
I was going to suggest we talk to the chief about that. He's been very pleased with it. I think.
Other questions?
I move that we approve the contract with Lexipol for phase 1 policy. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, board.
Thanks, Chief. Jeff? Jeff? Could you check and make sure that microphone is on? Maybe it's just my old ears, but I don't really difficult here.
I felt the same way. A little hard.
That's better.
Just speaking
Maybe you're
softly.
just- yeah.
Carry big stick.
Chief was a little bit farther away from the microphone. So,
They're both taller.
Going to Mr. Eames Strawberry Festival 2024.
Good evening, board. My name is Scott. This is my wife Jackie from Discover Downtown Greenwood. I'm sorry, Discover Old Town Greenwood. A little nervous. I am here to get approval to shut down Madison Avenue between Euclid and Broadway Street. For the 2024 Strawberry Festival, which is the same as we did in 2023. Some bullet points that we have for 2023, we saw about 8,000 guests that came out for the Strawberry Festival for its first year. We sold approximately 3,500 servings of strawberry shortcake. We did an anonymous economic impact study for the vendors that were on the street and all the small businesses that participated within the Strawberry Festival. Within those 8 hours of it being open, there was $65,000 spent in that 2-block area of Madison Avenue between the public that was coming in from Greenwood and outside of Greenwood as well. And as far as people coming into our store, Take Root Country Store, 50% of the visitors that were coming in were brand new to Greenwood that didn't know that we existed, or Vino Villa existed, or the Flower Market, or many of the other local businesses that were there. So what we tried to accomplish with the Strawberry Festival in 2023 was a huge success for us as far as that goes. And then one other thing that we left out last year, the use of the parking lot at Wiley and Madison, we set up there on Friday evening for the strawberry tent, and then we dressed the tables to be put out on that Saturday morning as well. And so we asked that we can use that, a small portion of that parking lot to do that on Friday afternoon. So that way we can be ready for Saturday morning when all the vendors come in. And the food trucks.
What's the date?
The date this year will be on Saturday, June 1st. The actual festival time will be 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we asked the street to be shut down from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. so we can set up to 60 vendors that will line the street.
How many?
60.
How many did you have last year?
We had 50 last year, but we had about 7 that didn't show up because it was the hottest day of the year. It was very hot.
Better than rain, there, right?
Yes, I agree.
Well, I went last year. I thought it was very successful. That's the kind of activities we want for our downtown.
Absolutely.
Enjoyed it as well. I think we ran out of strawberries last year.
We didn't quite run out last year, but we
Oh, we were close.
sold 3,500 servings of strawberries. And then with the monies that we made, we also bought over the ear headphones for Isom Elementary too. We spent $1,000 of the monies that we made to give back to the community.
Have you talked with anybody in the administration, Scott? Have you talked to Terry or?
We've applied, so we didn't actually have a meeting with Terry this time around.
We haven't heard anything.
He's been gone.
Yeah.
He's in Florida.
Ty, have you heard anything about this?
So, yeah, Aaron is aware that we are.
Considering this?
Is coming to. He is. Probably why we don't have a meeting set up yet. But he knows that they're here for tonight.
The only thing I could suggest is maybe working with the Fifth Business, is it Cornerstone or whatever, it's in the old city building,
Yes,
to utilize their parking lot.
they had an event last year. We did use part of their parking lot for vendor parking to keep the vendors off of the main spaces. But they did have an event last year and took most of their parking for their event.
Okay.
How about the church, the Methodist church? Did you find out? I
We
know you
had
don't go
a,
that far, but
we had a shuttle bus last year from the Greenwood Park Mall down to where the merchants are. So that way we had a shuttle all day long, nonstop. And Greenwood Park Mall allowed us to use their parking for as part of their sponsorship.
should it be a conditional approval? So we get
Did you apply for the proper permit for the, what was it that we filled out? Have to-
So they have submitted the request to the My Greenwood app, and therefore that the next step to apply for the street closure permit was this meeting.
I mean, could you condition approval and getting all the required permits and authorize staff to
No-
prepare any
notices
parking lot
that-
use agreement that might be necessary and authorize mayor to sign for those dates, you know?
I would move that we approve the request subject to those conditions.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks.
Good luck.
Good luck.
So what are the,
Well, why don't you check with Mr. Hayden back there, and he'll make certain that you get all those ducks in a row.
all right, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Next, Kevin Falk, JRF Construction. Is
Is it online?
Kevin online with us? Mr. Falk?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good, sorry. We've got your application for it here, so what are we doing here?
We're requesting release of our performance bond and acceptance of the maintenance guarantee for the public sidewalks and asphalt pathway. We completed construction about a year ago and then just had recent inspections and turned in all paperwork for that.
Mark, everything needs to be in order.
That's correct, yes.
Is there a motion to approve pursuant to Paul Peony's memo of today's date?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you very much.
Have a good evening. Greg always comes and sees us in person. We appreciate that. Good evening. Crossroad Engineers, Greenwood Christian Academy.
Yes, representing Greenwood Christian Academy for the completion and acceptance of their soccer field. Everything is done, NOT submitted, just looking for the release of performance guarantees, no maintenance guarantees necessary. Just trying to close it out.
Again, Mark, this looks like an unconditional approval.
Yes.
Recommended. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a
Good to see you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Same to
Christmas.
you. Next, Jonas Lewandowski with Scottsdale Estates. Jonas, are you with us online?
Good evening. I'm Brian Gradison. I'm here on behalf of
Okay.
Jonas and Gradison Land Development. I am requesting the acceptance of performance guarantee for erosion control out at Scottsdale Estates Section 3, as well as the acceptance and execution of inspection and testing agreements.
Mark, the move past you. It looks like this is another unconditional recommendation.
Move for approval.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, have a good
Thank
evening.
you all. You too. Take care.
Let's go to Lincoln Place, Neil Van Trees, Leonard.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Before you, I have Lincoln Place or subdivision, it's residential. Out on Bushville Road, we'll have an entrance. And so there's two properties to the west and there's two properties to the east. So there's 4 documents for right of way. They've all signed, and then there's the two properties to the east. Sanitary sewers coming from Emerson Bushville intersection. We'll take that across Bushville west to our entrance. And so there's 2 sanitary sewer easements south side on those 2 properties to the east. And we worked with staff to establish those limits and have those before you for acceptance.
Mark, a little more detail, is everything?
Yeah, everything's in order. I had a hard time hearing Mr. Van Trees.
Yeah,
I
me
get
too.
to answer any questions you might have. This is going to be a subdivision, southwest corner of Bushville and Emerson, across the street from their Homewood Estate subdivision. They're looking to put an entrance on Bushville and an entrance on Emerson. For the Emerson entrance, they need to acquire some right of way on both sides of the road, so documentation has been prepared for that right of way dedication. And then they also need to submit some sanitary sewer easements for offsite sanitary sewer work. They'll be connecting to existing sanitary sewer in the northwest west corner of the intersection of Emerson and Bushville. So they got to cross Bushville and then bring it down to their subdivision.
Questions for Neil or for Mark? Pleasure of the board.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Next, we'll talk about Seven Brew. Mr. Terry, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. Thank you. You got a couple things going here, a couple issues, right?
I think the main thing is the velocity of the pipe and the flatness of that, and that's what we're after. I don't think there's a second. I could be wrong, but
No, yeah, that's correct. They've already obtained the waiver for the
Oh.
grade of the pipe. They've been there
So
previously.
just the second one in there about the slope is the only thing that they're requesting this evening.
Okay.
yeah, so on the slope of the pipe, so what we're way below the slope of it, but we're dealing with what's given out there from what's existing, what we're tying into to what we're tying into back to into the shopping center to help drain this existing parking lot as well from the north. We are putting sumps in there, so there will be a 2-foot sump. So any sediments can be trapped in there before it gets into the pipes. And that's what we're asking for the waiver for.
Sounds like staff is in agreement with the request.
Correct, so we don't have a minimum pipe rate that we require, so we require a minimum pipe velocity. That's to make sure the pipe doesn't get backfilled or filled up with sediment or debris. They have some site constraints here because they're on an existing site, existing storm sewer. It's gonna be a privately maintained, privately owned storm sewer, so it won't be something the city will have to deal with. They put in some additional BMP measures in those sumps, so that should realistically catch that sediment and that debris. And our only recommendation is to make sure that, the cleaning of the sumps, the cleaning of the pipe becomes part of their operations and maintenance
I was
manual.
getting ready to ask that question.
Yeah, and we'll make
That's
sure.
gonna be part of the OEM manual, and that'll be coming back.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Yes.
I move that we approve the request to grant the exception for pipe slope, subject to the maintenance of those pumps, some pumps being in the O&M.
They're just sumps, there's no pumps.
Sumps, yeah.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? Well, now, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We know we had a notice of decision that we need to sign. Do you have?
I have it.
You have the original, thank you. Anyone from the audience wish to address us? Either here in the room or online? Hearing none, we'll go on to Sean with Corporation Council status and tax.
We have resolution number 2315, which is making a recommendation to establish parking rates for the new parking garage that is down by 523 Madison project. Per statute, you set any rules and rates and charges, but they are effective upon approval of the common council. So you will be making a recommendation for those rates, and they will be taken to the common council to approve by resolution.
You say down by the Madison, these are.
It is along Meridian Street, the parking garage that's kind of across from,
Oh, it's in the garage, it's not street parking.
yes, it's the parking garage rates.
Questions for Sean?
Reasonable.
Who came up with the rates?
I believe that was done with the capital projects manager and finance.
Dennison is the,
Yes, and the Dennison
the
folks, I
consultant.
think.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Yeah.
Anything else?
That is all from the
Thank
legal
you.
department.
Mark's got a full plate.
Thank you, hopefully we'll start to complete. The first item I have for you tonight is to request approval and execution of an LPA consulting contract between the city of Greenwood and USI Consultants for the construction inspection at the Smith Valley Road and Neighbor Road roundabout project. And this is our roundabout project that has federal funds attached to it. There's a procurement process we have to go through with NDOT to bring someone on board because of those federal funds. USI was selected as our consultant through that process. We've negotiated a scope and fee with them. I have the contract for you tonight. Contract will be for $250,000. The language has been reviewed by legal. It is standard NDOT boilerplate form, so there's not much we can change on it. The construction inspection will be reimbursed at, I believe, a 90 to 10 reimbursement rate. So we'll only be paying 10% of that cost for the construction inspection on this project.
Questions for Mark on that? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Switching right to the contract for signature. I believe this is what I've got. So,
I think the something will print one today.
next, CCNG first
Um,
project.
Yes, so we were awarded $1 million of matching grant funds from the state of Indiana for the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program. Part of that project means we have to sign a contract with NDOT to get that $1 million. That's the contract we have for you tonight. I'm actually asking you to ratify this agreement. As we know from last year, NDOT's moved to DocuSign. I put the mayor's name on it, DocuSign it. We'll click on the trigger on the signature page, so we're asking you to ratify it. Again, it's standard NDOT boilerplate. It has been reviewed by legal, and there was no major concern.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Ratification. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The next item is the same project, 2023 CCNG. We're asking your approval to prepare bid specifications and advertise for bid on this project.
I'll move for approval. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The next item is our 2024 annual paving project. That's a separate project on our CCNG project. We're using entirely local funds. We're targeting about $2 million of paving. We're still solidifying the number of streets and what streets we'll be doing, but again, we're asking your approval to prepare bid specifications and prepare and advertise for bid when those are ready.
For approval.
Second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next item is a operations and maintenance manual for water quality. Actually, the next three items are operations and maintenance manuals for water quality. One is for the property located at 249 North Madison Avenue. One is for the Chase Bank site located along State Route 135 in White River Township. And the third one is for the Brighton Knoll subdivision, which is located along April Drive.
Would you walk through those at once?
No.
There is, yep. And the
Four.
fourth one is for Barbersville Utilities, their new water tank.
Is there a motion to approve all four as presented?
So moved.
Second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The next item I have for you is asking you to authorize staff to prepare a single parcel sewer service agreement for 4781 West Smith Valley Road, which is located outside of city limits.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do you normally authorize who signs those?
We passed a
Yeah, we have
resolution.
a resolution that,
Is it as
Mayor.
designated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just last meeting.
you missed one meeting, Sean.
I know.
All those-
I thought you had, but I'm like, do you normally not know by that, or do you
Yeah.
authorize it?
Chief, yeah, so.
And the last item I have before you is the Tell subdivision off of State Route 135. We're asking you to authorize us to begin the drawdown process on a performance letter of credit two performance letter of credits. One is in the amount of $1,925. The other is in the amount of $418. They have not completed their subdivision closeout procedures. We've contacted them. They've informed us that the property has since been sold and they recommended that we begin the drawdown process. So they're not, whoever bought it's not going to do it correct. And it's not their letter of credit.
Is the cost of doing it somewhat similar to the letter of credit we have on the top?
That is the intent with the letter of credit.
I know it's intent.
Sidewalks and signs and monuments.
Inflation.
Markers and monuments, or is that what these are for?
Is there a motion to approve drawdown procedure?
So moved.
Second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
It's from the reminder. So
That's all, Mark?
that is all correct.
Greg?
Nothing for me.
Thank you. Mr. Russell?
We'll move for the approval of claims as presented.
Second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you all. We'll stand adjourned at 5:55 PM.